and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since, and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. And welcome to the Zwift MHG FMR ZLDR PACK community run. 40 seconds to go before we start. I'm going to do 10 kph tonight. Good evening to Paul Hayward, Tina Beard, Clive Finnemore, Yoko, Wada, Sebastian, anyone else? Sarah Jacobson. She says, Stephen, how are you standing right now? With difficulty is the answer to that question. Let's just get a move on and get going. Oh, we've got Nikki with us tonight. Hi, Nikki. That's lovely that Nikki's joined us tonight. Oh, I'm a bit tight. I'm a bit tight. Hello and welcome along to the community run. Trev Wilson, hello to you. Paul says, where's my star gone? Yeah, your credit card's expired, Paul. Nice to have you with us, Nikki. Okay, I've just got to settle into this because ran a marathon yesterday, legs are hurting. Well done to everyone who ran the Brussels half marathon yesterday. Tina Beard did Monday Run Club. That's okay then. You're what's the word? Not let off. Well, you're let off, but I'm trying to think of a better word. Brain's not working. I will spend the first half of this run allowing my legs to free up. Sarah Jacobson says, please tell me that this is the end of your current racing cycle. Mostly. I have 2 races left this year. One at the end of this month is the Beachy Head half marathon, a Beachy Head marathon with loads of Zwifters. And then I have a Brighton 10k in November. Excused is the correct word that I was thinking of. Thank you very much, Tina and Anthony. Sarah Jacobson with the rather more lowbrow off the hook. Excused, Tina, you are excused. Sarah Jacobson, come on. Oh yes, must not forget to unlock my pretzel vest. Nick Dumbleton says, evening Mr. C, my legs are still aching. Managed to break the 5-hour barrier. 4 hours 56, well done Nick. Great work. So London Marathon yesterday, Nick Dumbleton came in under 5 hours. Well done, buddy. Good job. No, Sarah, you didn't swear. It was just amusing that I was looking for a more erudite way to say that Tina was excused, but I couldn't think of the word excused. And you come up with off the hook, which is perfectly fine. But excused was the word I was searching for. "19 degrees in shed quarters tonight, so it is cooling down in the UK. Erudite is a great word. It is indeed. Anthony says, where have all the club runners gone in the London Marathon? What do you mean, Anthony? They're all at the front, is where they are. Did Emma run the London Marathon? I did not know. Oh, well done, Emma. $17.5 in Paul Hayward's garage in Gloucestershire. $16.3 in the Cornish garage tonight. Wow, first time below zero in Canada this morning. Clive, are you broadcasting? Are you on? Have we got a joint stream again tonight? So my legs are very tight. I'm just hoping that they'll ease up a little bit as the run goes on. The Beacon group is running at 10 kilometres per hour if you would like to join us. One kilometre down, 9 to go. Right, Clive says no, he's not broadcasting tonight because it's bad to cross streams. I think a few of us are probably feeling a little stiff today. Unfortunately, London Marathon announced the death of a runner on course yesterday. So yeah, somebody did have a heart attack on the course yesterday. A friend of mine was running and was just ahead when the guy shouted out that he needed a medic. A friend of mine was there when he shouted for the medic. I don't know if you've heard of the Forest of Dean runner, Clive. FOD runner Andy Rayner. So Andy was in the tunnel and the guy in front of him shouted medic and fell to the ground, and Andy had to race and get a medic and get the ambulance to him, and that's the guy, unfortunately, we think didn't make it. Anthony says, it seems like London has turned into a charity run with the elite runners in a separate race. Anthony, it's been like that for years. London Marathon, essentially, is just one massive charity run. Yes. And that's where London Marathon makes its money, which is why they are constantly encouraging charity runners and charity organisations to be involved. And it's also why a lot of runners don't like doing it for a PB, because the course is saturated with one-time marathon runners or slower runners, and it's difficult sometimes to fight your way through. So yeah, I think London Marathon has been like that for a long time, Anthony. If you want a fast marathon with no charity runners, you go to Paris or Berlin. Those are the two ones that I've done where there are very few or no charity runners, nobody dressed in fancy dress, and you just get on with running as fast as you can. Tina says, a club mate of mine who is 70 years old spent an hour with the medics in the London Marathon at 20 miles, but managed to finish, although he had to persuade the medics to let him go. Wow. Okay, legs are starting to free up a little bit now. So we are watching chat on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. If you've joined us on any of those channels, thank you very much. Welcome along to the community run that we do every Monday here on Zwift. And it's usually around about an hour, depending on how fast or slow we go. Always a good crowd. And you're more than welcome to join us anytime if you're new to Zwift. This is one of the biggest group runs that you'll find on Zwift. If you like running with lots of people, then this is a great one to start with. Very friendly group. And you don't have to do the whole run. Plenty of people just do 5k or even less if they want to, just to get a feel for the event, get a feel for Zwift. Adrian is saying, yeah, I was just thinking the same thing about the legs. Just starting to feel a little bit better now as we get into the run. Legs just starting to ease up a little bit now. I think we might make it to the end. Welcome along if this is your first time here. I noticed Diana isn't here though today. She ran the Brussels half marathon yesterday, and I guess she's after a rest. Good photos posted on Facebook today though. Nice to see the ZLDR team out in Brussels running the half marathon yesterday. Happy birthday, Camilla. Anthony says, I did the London Marathon in 1995 when it was the Mars London Marathon. Nearly all club runners back then, and the elites started with everybody else. Yes, so the elite runners start in the blue start. So I don't know if you know this now, Anthony, but London Marathon has 3 start lines. Now the red start line is for all the charity runners and some of the good for age runners. The blue start line is where the elite runners start. So they start there, and behind them are the fast, good for age runners and the other good for age runners. So the elite runners do start with the masses, but not the charity runners. But then after 5 kilometres, all the runners all join together. So green, blue and red by 5 kilometres in are all funneled into one race. So the red and the blue basically spend the first 5k on separate routes. Adrian did the virtual London Marathon yesterday. 8 and a bit laps of his local park run. Well done, Adrian. He says, I was joined by my daughter's gymnastics club. They all did a little bit each. Well done. Brilliant. That sounds like a really nice thing to do. Trev Wilson says, I've just knocked the safety switch. Oh no. It's the worst thing you can do when you're running on the treadmill, is accidentally knock the safety switch off. Ah. Loving the lederhosen. It doesn't seem to have affected Trev too much though. He's right behind me still. So we're a quarter of the way through now. Beacon Group are 1/4 of the way through. Is anyone really pushing it hard tonight? Question mark. Mark Mansueto, good evening to you. Simon Dan, hello Dan. Hope you're well. How did it go, Dan? So Dan from the Simon Dan channel on YouTube has just been out to Lanzarote to do the half Marathon des Sables. So if you've heard of the Marathon des Sables in Morocco, there is now a half Marathon des Sables, and it takes place, I think, on Lanzarote or Tenerife, one of the Canary Islands. So, Dan, how did it go? Let us know. Sebastian says it nearly spelled lederhosen correctly. Yeah, voice to text maybe didn't get lederhosen quite correct. Tina Beard says, are you looking forward to relaxing for a couple of weeks until Beachy Head? I totally am. Yes. I'm going to be totally unfit for Beachy Head because I'm going to lie down and do nothing apart from a few runs on Zwift for 2 weeks. I'm going to eat cake, fish and chips. Not, to be honest, not that I stopped eating that stuff when I was in training. Well done, Pedro. Keep it going. So Pedro is going hard tonight. Camilla's keeping it relaxed. Sherry is trying to catch up with the group. And Nikki says, yes, I am, can't you tell? You have damaged many of us with that video. Tina says her dinner is ready, so see you tomorrow, peeps. See you later, Tina. Thanks for joining us. See you soon. Right. I didn't get any of the Canary Islands correct. Dan was on Fuerteventura. So Dan's half marathon Desab was on Fuerteventura. He says it was tough, but I finished. Long story though. Next time we run together, I'll explain. Okay, so we're gonna meet up with Dan for a run sometime. Probably, you're doing Beachy Head, aren't you, Dan? So Dan will be at Beachy Head, I think. So we can talk about it then. A couple of weeks' time. So anyway, but Dan did finish the half marathon Desab on Fuerteventura. Well done, Dan. Good job, buddy. Right, let's see what they're all... I don't know if anybody else saw Mick Delaney's video the other day, by the way. If you want to see a naked man on a treadmill, go and search it up on YouTube. It's I would say it's funny, but it's disturbing. Yes, Mick, I think you've misunderstood the term run streak and run naked. Mick Delaney says, I know many of you, that is nothing but 3 times more than I've ever run in a year. Wow. So Mick is coming up on 3,000 kilometres for the year. 3,000 kilometres is great work in anybody's book. Mick. Oh. Yeah, dark outside already, winter is on the way. Says Clive. Camilla says 3,000 kilometres a year is awesome. Okay, Dan says Beachy Head is 50-50. I'm suffering right now. Okay. Well, yeah, take it easy, Dan. And he says, I finished 65th overall. First Brit, well done. Brilliant. Dan was first Brit at the half marathon Desab, 65th overall. But he says his chances of doing Beachy Head Marathon are 50-50. So, after the Brussels half marathon, we are looking forward to the Beachy Head Marathon in the UK and Paris Marathon in France next year. Beachy Head is in a couple of weeks. I am looking forward to meeting many of you there. Paris in April next year. Full stop. We start training on Zwift in January. Anyone can join the training sessions, even if you are not joining us in Paris. But if you would like to come and run with us in Paris, there are plenty of places still available. Take care, Nikki. Great to have you with us again. Yeah, Dan, you've got 3 weeks, buddy. You'll be all right. Just come and have a hobble round with us. It'll be fun. Just a nice, easy, gentle run. You know, come on, we'll do it in 3:30. Come on. You know you want to. You're going to come and meet all of our Zwift buddies. If you are not interested in marathon distance, there is another Zwift IRL meetup at Manchester for the 10K. You'll be fine, Dan. No, Camilla. Paris is the full marathon on April 3rd, 2023. What? Camilla. Paris. No. I don't know who Camilla Harris is. But I hope she comes and joins Camilla and the rest of us in Paris. This is why I love using voice to text. Yes, the marathon distance is a tough beast. I managed to get to 30k yesterday in London before my legs finally gave way and I had to slow down. Pete, I still wouldn't know who Kamala Harris is. Well, yes, you could walk a marathon if you wanted to. What makes the marathon difference? What makes the marathon distance difficult is running it as fast as you can. The final finisher in London came in 9 hours yesterday. Adrian has done 5k, that's enough for him today. No worries, Adrian. British age group champion. Adrian for the middle distance ultra. Well done, Adrian. Amy says good evening. Well done for yesterday, Stephen. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, I got to 30k going at the pace that I wanted to go at, but I really slowed down in the last 12k. Just didn't have it in my legs. Obviously, after everything this summer, it was just a bit too much, but I gave it my best shot. But unless I get in on the ballot next year, no London Marathon for me next year. Trev Wilson, only 5k for him tonight. Coming back from too many annoying niggles. Thanks everyone, no worries. Trev and Adrian. Take care, Trevor and Adrian. See you next time. You get cake at the Paris Marathon. Also, one of the only big city marathons I know where you get an aid station at the end of the race. JJ says you get cake and Edith too. Who is Edith? Yes, you get lots of different food choices in the Paris Marathon. We will have plenty of pace groups running together, Camilla. Clive says he went back for seconds and thirds of cake in the Paris Marathon this year rather. And Paul Deering says the sub-3 marathon police can sleep well again tonight. Well done anyway, Stephen. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going for sub-3. I was. Right, so Berlin Marathon, I started out trying to go for sub-3, but I knew very early on that I wouldn't do it. And yesterday, I knew I wasn't going to get sub 3, so I didn't even start at that pace. I started at a pace that would have got me in at 3 hours 15 minutes, which would have been a good for age qualifier for London next year. But I didn't make that either, so I missed 3:15 by 8 minutes and came in at 3:23. So just slowed down in the last 12k. Thanks for joining, Camilla. See you soon. Oh. It wasn't Camilla who asked if it was okay to run with us. It was Sherry, I think. Who was it? Yeah, it was Sherry. Thank you, Paul, though. Thanks for that. Beacon Group, now at 6 kilometres. Beacon. Oh, a load of spam on YouTube. Oh well. At least the link doesn't get posted. Cherry says to JJ, "Are you feeling better?" JJ says no. And you are running today, why? Question mark, exclamation mark. He needs a good telling off from his physio. Sebastian says, lots of love here. Yes, lots of hearts and kisses and lips and things. Very nice. It's almost as if it wasn't spam. Just somebody being nice to us, showing their affection for us. Let's just look at it that way. Ooh. I am rather sceptical about shoes which claim to balance pronating feet. Pronation is a natural thing which your leg muscles are there to interact. Bye Jens, take care. Thanks to Jens, see you soon. Although I do think good running form helps immensely with over or under pronation. Right, 3 kilometres left. 3 kilometres left for the Beacon group. Amy Green says, I'm back from a run outside. I was made to run outside tonight. Who made you run outside? Was it your daughters? Or your running club? Victoria's back. She took my son Ellis to running club tonight. They're home now. Apparently I've missed something that Sebastian has said. Stephen ignores telling something about PP. Oh, pinch punch. Yes. I'm not mentioning pinch punch. My wife won pinch punch first of the month again this month. I was awake and ready to punch her, and she jumped in before I had a chance. It was a very sneaky move. Right, Clive says pinch punch has been deliberately avoided this month in our house. Why? You can't miss a pinch punch month. Right, Right, Amy Green was forced to run outside tonight. She says, I was out testing a new hydration vest. My shoulders really hurt. Is it just a case of not being used to it? It was the hubby that made me run outside. He said, if I'm running a marathon outside in a couple of weeks, I need to run outside. Well, he's got a point there, Amy. And yes, it probably is you just not being used to it. But you need to make sure you've got one that fits correctly, Amy. And also, when you've got bottles in the front or water in the pouch at the back, that should weigh it down a bit more so it'll sit more comfortably on your shoulders. But yeah, hopefully it's just a case of not being used to it. And you will get used to it. Victoria says, if it's not comfortable in training, it won't be comfortable in a race. Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, Amy, I would test it out a couple more times and see if you can work out why it's not comfortable. Where on the shoulders is it not comfortable? Is it just too heavy? Is it rubbing anywhere? And you may need to go to somebody experienced and get it properly fitted, or get another one that fits really well. I don't know if Victoria has talked to you about the one that she's got, because there are special hydration vests made for women as well that are kind of a different fit, so you might want to investigate that. But I would go to a running shop, Amy, and ask them to fit it, to help you fit one. For those who are nearly finished, well done and thank you for joining today. We will be here same time next week. Remember to check the Zwift companion app for future events. ZLDR, comma, MHG, comma, FMR. And the PACK group all have events in the calendar, and you can join the clubs via the companion app. I have just been able to increase membership of FMR beyond 100, so I would appreciate it if you could go and join my club. Thank you, guys. So we have just over a mile to go of the community run. We have 1 mile to go here. Right, Amy Green says her vest is the extra small version of one of the Salomon ones, but she only had one bottle filled, so it meant it was off balance. As it's my left shoulder that hurts, and I had the bottle on the right side. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, try it again with both bottles filled and see how that does. And make sure you're wearing a comfortable top as well that doesn't rub. Nick, please be careful. We know what you're like when you go wild. But yes, anyone who wants to sprint the last kilometre, go for it. Clive is not going to sprint the whole last kilometre. Neither am I. So we'll be back tomorrow with the Film My Run 500 at 11:35, and then we'll see about something tomorrow evening. Thursday I won't be running, and we'll go and watch Ellis in his running club on Thursday evening. But Thursday morning we've got Film My Run 500 back again. Wednesday I don't know what we're going to do, because normally I would do the Wednesday workout, but my legs will not allow me to do that this week. So I shall probably either commentate on the Wednesday workout or do a different event. And then also live on the Zwift Run channel we have Clive Finnimore on Wednesday with the MHG Club, and Friday MHG Club with Clive Finnimore as well.
Right on!
I will have you know I have only put a little bit of weight on recently. Does my bum look big in this? Question mark. Right, 4 minutes to go. We've all seen where your weight is. Nick. Half a kilometre left. Coming to the end of the community run for another week. 3 minutes to go. Glad to say the legs have eased up a lot. Still a bit tight, but not too bad at all. Yes, thanks everyone. See you all this week in one event or another. Sebastian says thanks for leading tonight. You know, no worries, Seb. See you tomorrow.
Right on.
Thanks, Yoko. Take care. One minute to go. Amy says, great running, everyone. So do come and join us tomorrow for the Film My Run 500 at 11:35 in the morning UK time, and then we'll be back in the evening. Not sure what we're going to do in the evening, but we'll do something tomorrow evening. We can have a look in a minute actually when we've stopped. We'll just take a quick look at the events calendar for tomorrow and see what's on, see what we could do. And there's 10k up. Well done, everyone. Victoria says, well done all. Right, let's just have a very quick look at the calendar for tomorrow. What's on in the evening tomorrow? Let's see. So there's a pack run social at 7:45. There's the ZLDR speed session. Pretzel run. That's what we need to do, isn't it? So tomorrow at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. or 6 p.m? 7 p.m. Right, tomorrow 7 p.m. we will be doing the pretzel run. So I will get my lederhosen tomorrow. And it is a 7.4 kilometre run. Perfect. Pretzel run stage 1. Pretzel Fest run stage 1 tomorrow at 7 p.m. So I will be running that tomorrow. And and also actually while we're here, let's just also join tomorrow morning's Film My Run 500. So do come along to that, 11:35 tomorrow. So that's both events sorted for tomorrow. 11:35, Film My Run 500, and then at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening UK time, we'll do the Pretzel Fest 7.4 kilometre run, and that is us done for tonight. Time for a shower and then something to eat, and we'll be off, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for all the chat on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.